Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very brief interruption. This is a very brief introduction to tell you that the scrying session is coming up. It's about 20 minutes, and in those 20 minutes, after 5 minutes, the screen, 4.5 minutes, the screen goes black. Then I pick up again with the tail end of 7 minutes to add on, and there is a video there. So just, bear with me till the very end. Bye-bye, a big kiss. Hello everybody, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here for a new moon reading in Gemini. And so this will be the 13th, just about everywhere in the world. It will last from the 12th to the 17th then. From the 12th to the 17th on into Sunday. I'm starting with this apophyllite. This is the new moon in Gemini. This is an apophyllite. Apophyllite is a, let me take a look at that, really crystally, sprinkly, very shiny reflections, beautiful stone. And a gray outer shell, white interior, and then there's this spark here, sparkles. We will be in the company of three. This is what the first thing that comes up. We'll be in the company of three, in the sense that, okay, we may not be with three people, but there will be three things on our mind. Like a good Italian, I have to use my hand when I speak, so I put things down. There will be three people. There will be three things. There will be one thing with two ideas. We'll be in the company of three. And this is quite interesting because you'll be finding, if you remember this, that as time goes by and you pass your days, you'll be looking, for that third element. Okay, I know I have to wake up and I know I have to do two things. What is the third? I know there's a third thing. Or we have to go to the government's office, but I know that I have to bring two witnesses, and so there'll be, the number three will recur. And what is odd but will be highlighted is the fact that you'll get the impression you'll be repeating things. Events will be repeating. I want to go on a hike today. Okay, then the following day or a few days later you feel I want to go on a hike again. Didn't I just do that yesterday? So there's this recurrence. It's a period of recurring events, recurring ideas, recurring people. And the interesting, and I keep saying the interesting, it is interesting, but why it feels of interest to us is that when something recurs, when it happens again, we have the notion that we've been there before. There's something else we have to look at. There's, if we're going down the rabbit hole, there's something we missed the first time around. Let us take another look. It's coming around again. It's coming around again. And so we have the impression that we have been gifted because we've been there before and now it's coming around again. I know I have to learn something, a real interesting time, where you're looking for signs in I don't want to say in all the wrong places, but you will be looking almost too hard. Excuse me. And so what happens is you tend to not see things that are right under your nose. Let's say that if we are able to go about our business in this Gemini moon, new moon, let's say that we will be gifted because we'll have another opportunity to do things. We'll be going through an incidence, an experience, another time. We're going to be having the possibility of having an opportunity once again, and seeing things that perhaps you didn't see. Why I like to have this bloodstone, because it gives me a sense of warmth. Okay, I do have also the rhodochrosite here as well, this reddish egg-shaped stone. This too has the sense of warmth, and it is warmth. But there's something particular about the bloodstone that gives you the sense that you're getting very close to some kind of truth, and this is what I gather now. And we will be having this sensation. We will be having this sensation that we're getting very close to something, almost as if we have this, not a forewarning because it is necessarily something looming, something dark looming. No, a turn of events. We know that life has a cycle, and part of that cycle is, I'll use the expression, a turn of events. Things go up, they come down, they go up, and they come down. So when we talk about cycles and the tree of life and the tree and life's cycles, things begin, things end, and begin again. Now, we're definitely going to have that impression this week around this new moon, and we're going to have the impression that what we felt of late, what we, I have my pajamas on, what we felt recently is that would be coming around to us, that will be occurring to us. You're going to get literally the smell of it, the possibility that it's very close. Now, this could be anything. You know, this could play out as somebody in your life coming back. This could be an opportunity very, very close, and you get the sign that it's coming around. It could be, you know, you felt that you were going to have difficulty with your car. It will be coming around. So things that you had, the sensation would happen, you'll get it even closer, even stronger in this week. Also, beyond the notion of three, things will be coming to you in three. You'll be accompanied with other two people. You'll be things will happen in threes. You will need a third occurrence if you only have two. Besides the number three, you have the sensation that you're not concentrating on people per se in this period, in this week. Even if you have the sensation of a lover coming in, or an old person, one of your exes coming back, it's not about that. It's not about them, and it's not about the people, but it's about the sensation that you have. I know that something is going to occur. I know that now is the time things will start to change. The event will be kicked off because, you know, and so there's sort of, it's like an announcement. All right, this new moon in Gemini, as if it were an announcement for the upcoming weeks, even 2 months, 3. I would say this is mid-June, July, mid-August, 2.5 months up until the end of August. It is sort of announcing something that is going to occur in these 2.5 months. You will have already had the sensation today, yesterday, the day before, even as far back as Friday, last Friday. Today I'm having this session on a Tuesday. Last Friday could have been the 8th. Maybe I'm wrong, 11, 10, 9, 8th, yeah. As far back as the 8th, you could have had that sensation. Something's coming round again for me, or something that I expected to happen is now coming round. Look at that brightness that this a fa light gives off. It's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And what also is of interest to us, you will find, is that, like I just said, that it's not a matter of people, it's not a matter of persons, and asking yourself, will this person come back, and that person, will I meet? No, it's about sensing, getting the gist, and sensing, smelling, almost hearing, listening to signs that it will occur. Your sensations, your intuition is going to be heightened. You will be able to answer your own questions. Those of you who are addicted to YouTube videos to get their latest hit, or not a hit, what do they call it? A fix, their latest fix on the astrology of that month or this moon or that moon. You will be more ready to rely on your own gut, rely on your instincts, because it is a time when that will be sharpened. They'll be sharpened more. You'll get the sensation that you do know what is coming, And it's an interesting feeling because there's always so much doubt, and I, for one, as well, and I know what doubt can do to you. But I'm all being a researcher as well. I know that doubt is one of the greatest gifts that we have. People who say, I'm sure, are the ones who need to be you need to be eerie of those kinds of people who know absolutely. Doubt is a very healthy thing. However, at times, doubt gives way to fear, and it's the fear that will obstruct our instincts, our gut, our psychic abilities, our sensations, our sense of smell. Also, having to do with fear, and why I'm talking about fear now, not to detract from these crystals, is that fear will come in precisely when you get a sensation that you've got a power, as if you think something and it happens, and that frightens you. You see something occurring in your mind and it occurs. This is normal. Everyone has this capability, everyone, to a greater or lesser extent. The issue at stake here is whether you're listening or not, whether you're keen on understanding and have the ability to actually see further, see one step further. And so, we need to keep the fear at bay, because it holds away, it just drives away a lot of the beautiful energy that we may have in order to help us understand a lot of things and learn a lot of things. I'm looking at the 50s, I'm looking at the 1950s. 1950s and patterns of marble floors that we walk on as a firm sense of grounding, and on our way to a place where we can then sing in unison, or give praise, or thanks, or ask for forgiveness. And there's this idea of a marble in patterns that act as a foundation for us. And on a different note, quite differently from those type of patterns, are also I'm sure you have heard of, and I'm looking way back now, probably the 70s, I don't even remember, water beds, mattresses that are made of water that you float on, and as a contrast to the marble flooring with a decisive pattern. Then we have this smooth, fluid energy, and the sound of water, which are emotions, that are always present no matter what we do. Now, if we bear this in mind, we're able also to be more open to that flowing energy, to the energy that flows, the emotional energy. And I'm not saying that it's important for us to be objective. I mean, what is objective? Mathematicians will be the first to tell you, no, hard sciences, there's really no objectivity out there. Your reality is what you see, if you take your remote and you change the channel and see other things, that's another reality that you have created for yourself. There's, I mean, we could go on and talk about this for ages, but we're first and foremost, when I started by talking about the threes, that gives us the sensation that we're not alone, we are not, we are one. Clearly, that's without a doubt. What brings us down that rabbit hole and makes us divided from other energies is the notion that we need to put up our boundaries, overly so, and in some way protect ourselves from something. I don't know. In this field, in this world of psychic abilities and spirituality, there's always people talking about, protecting yourself, and this is, for those of you who know about the law of attraction, when you protect yourself, you are calling upon yourself the very, if you keep talking about protecting yourself, it is an area of energetic wallowing that will attract what really you are not interested in attracting. I hope I said that right. You've understood that. Now, there is the presence of the younger members of the communities out there, and I'm talking young, those children who are not way under 18. I'm not of legal age. Children, children. The word children and child presupposes parents, of course, but what I'm trying to express at the same time, there are young members of our community who are on their own, despite the fact that they are protected or guarded from parents. They are walking, they're starting to walk. And we all have a responsibility for that, in terms of how we think, in terms of how we express ourselves, in terms of how we go about our business. And any little thing we do really needs to come to us with a sense of responsibility, because for our actions, everything we do, you have a hand in. You are an accomplice to what you do, to the actions that you decide. And what is so lovely, and let's draw ourselves away from this notion right now. We have the younger members of the community, people flanking in threes, the three objects, three elements, three occurrences. At the same time, there is a wide array of long meadowlands that are distended and extended, and rolling hills, really. Rolling hills where you can actually feel yourself rolling down on your side until you get to the bottom, and just a devil-may-care attitude. The same sensation that you get to the first time that you've ever gone skiing and you've never been on skis before, and you just, boom, you go right down, and without any control at all, no control, and you just caution to the winds, and it's very scary, no net, but that sensation, that rolling hill sensation, you just roll and roll and roll, and you could never possibly do any harm or anything wrong. And at the same time, though, there comes we have this freedom of will, this free will that we have does not come with a price, but freedom and power to be able to decide comes with a responsibility as well, our own responsibility. And what I'm getting here is sort of a scenery where we're getting into our power, we're becoming stronger psychically, spiritually, and our gut is talking to us more. Many people are fearful of that, but at the same time, we're here also to understand a little bit more about what the hell we're actually doing here. You know, what are we doing here? You know, what am I supposed to be doing? You know, and I'm not talking about what kind of job I have to do. You know, when I'm supposed to go and retire. What should I buy? Should I buy peanut butter or that kind? No, I'm not talking about. And I'm not talking about existential difficulties. I'm talking about those of us who think, what is the purpose of anything that I do? Is there one thing that I am doing that is a contribution to everyone else I'm linked to? And of course, one of the many answers, and the closest answer that comes to the surface, is light. We are light, giving light. I'm sure you've had that experience walking down the street. You know, everybody starts turning and looking at you. You know, everybody just turns and look, and it's not that you have a new dress on, or you're especially beautiful that day or handsome. It is actually light that you're giving off. And you'll note, maybe you won't notice, or maybe it'll surprise you, but take a look and take note of that the next time that happens. I'm going to leave you with that thought, ladies and gentlemen. This new moon in Gemini is a real eye-opener, and I hope we can all take advantage of that. Do have a wonderful new moon in Gemini, ladies and gentlemen, until we scry together again. Bye-bye. Oh, thank you, all my subscribers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a roller coaster ride of a scrying session. And I'm here again because I did notice that the about 15 minutes of the video was all dark, but I left it, and apparently there was a bit of an interruption in the middle, about 10 seconds. So I'm going to continue because I'm not, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. So what I'm going to do here is to pick up the theme again of 3 and try to see exactly what that means to us, and how, in what areas, in what ways will we be urged or called upon to work in 3, or to call upon 3, or to be in 3. I sense a lot of insatisfaction. There's a hell of a lot of dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction in terms of what we are doing. You know, the video that was dark, in the end, you remember I was saying, what am I here for? What the hell am I here for? But there's a lot, it's linked to the dissatisfaction of not knowing actually what our spiritual side is all about, a lot of us. What you know, that question that goes around all the time: do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? And so many, growing up, one never knows how to answer or respond, or, you know, many people don't have a strong sense of religion per se, whatever their religion may be. But not only that, I'm not talking about institutionalized religions. I'm talking about the fact of and I'll explain myself. There was one, I used to argue with my dad when I was a teenager, and he said, come on, let's go to church. And I said, Dad, it doesn't matter if I go to church. I just don't want to go to church. So he sat me down after weeks of this, he sat me down and he said, look, okay, you have your own mind, you do what you want to do, but you have to have faith. You have to believe. You have to believe. And he said it in exactly the way I'm saying it now, and it almost frightened me. And I thought, oh, okay, he's very serious now, okay? And this was a man who used to tell me, I grew up on his stories, he was a prisoner of war, and he said that during the nights they would have spirit sessions, and he said, I swear to you the table was rising. I swear to you. And we were little girls, my sisters and I. And so this is a man who had dipped his feet in many different things, you know. Now, what is the nature of our dissatisfaction is the fact that we seem to be on quicksand. It seems that we're on quicksand regularly, especially in this period, as to who we should be interacting with. What should our main goals be, our main objectives be? And the notion of three may be the issue of a spiritual presence with us as we pass these days of the new moon in Gemini. Very, very, not cloudy. I don't see cloud. I remember saying that there was the 50s sort of patterned pavement with marble and giving us a very firm sense of grounding. Okay, even stark colors, you know, black and white, things like that. But no matter how we try, and no matter how strong the pavement is, we get the feeling that we're just not standing on firm foundations. Okay, this will be ailing us. This will be giving us a lot of food for thought this week and these days. And what is quite confusing, let's call it that. What is quite confusing is at times, I did say that you're going to have this sense of heightened psychic ability, or your gut is going to talk to you more. And at times then there's that sense of doubt. There's the sense, well, did I understand correctly? Is this what, did I see that? Or am I making it up? You know, and what I am looking at is a time when we're going to tell ourselves, well, if I'm not looking at it, who's looking at it? How is there someone else who's seeing the things that I'm seeing? You know, it's just as good as anyone else's sight, you know. And a lot of questioning, not values, but the solid nature of beliefs, the firmness of your convictions. And again, you know, I'm one who hails doubt as something being very healthy at times, because it makes us question, you know, and it makes us develop and grow. Not, you know, you may not agree with me, but what I'm seeing when we have this opportunity to question and to feel that we don't know what we're looking at, or we don't know it all, or we cannot say 100%, well, that's what happened to me yesterday. That was the sensation I'd have. That's exactly what I saw. It does give us a sense of insecurity. However, as I said before, this is a week, this new moon in Gemini invites us to hone our psychic skills, to hone our intuition. And I can only, you know, pass that message on, because it is a gift. It's an opportunity that we have. It's a true gift for us to be able to do that, and to be able to see things that we were never able to see before. It's so refreshing. It's so enthralling as well. I do hope that you weren't upset about that dark period in the middle of the video. Do have a nice period again, this new moon in Gemini, until we scry together again. Bye bye.